Hey, Maria.
Lisa.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. So we are still at the Wolfpack Summit. I'm having a bang-up time.
I see you. You're finally meeting people that you've been talking to for years and you have not been in the same room.
Yes.
It's just been amazing to see you meeting them.
Yes, and this is amazing. So we're going to introduce now a person who I've spoken to. I'm going to go with 6 years.
Yeah, about that.
About 6
Wow.
years. So this is Brittany Thomas.
Brittany Thomas, it's a pleasure meeting you.
Oh, pleasure to meet you as well.
So Brittany, tell Maria, tell the people watching, what do you do? Who are you with? What happens in procurement in your life?
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. I'm currently with Conagra. I joined in January as a procurement manager to support their digital roadmap, so kind of modernizing the procurement ecosystem. It's been a wild ride for the first 5 months coming into something that's already been started. And it's just really been working with stakeholders, learning about the business, which is so important. And CPG is such a different industry than what I've worked in the past. And so really just diving in and finding out who all my key stakeholders are and working really closely with them.
And what do they do?
All sorts of things.
Well, why don't you name some of our favorite products?
Sorry, what?
Why don't you name some of our favorite products?
Yes.
Like a little Slim Jim.
Gotcha. I thought you meant what do my team members do?
Oh, no.
What does Conagra do?
Let's move on to the yummy
Sure.
stuff.
She just want to hear about the Slim Jims again, that's all.
We have great stuff. So we have Slim Jim, Boom Chicka Pop, Marie Callender's, Classic
Nice.
Pickles,
My favorite.
Bird's Eye,
Okay.
Hunt's Tomato Sauce.
Oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
just about
All
anything
the
and
good
everything.
stuff, a little
Duncan
bit of
Hines.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Where are you located?
Omaha?
Omaha.
Omaha.
We need a reason to go to Omaha. I think we
Yes.
just found one.
My granddaughter, Elijah's sister,
We'll call him
was born in Nebraska. Everybody else was born in Massachusetts. She was born in Nebraska.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
amazing. I keep telling everybody, Nebraska's the place. It's centrally located. We need to have some conferences there.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
We would love to come. Right?
Yeah, we would.
You're
We
invited.
would. So you came that you started in January. Congratulations on the new job.
Yes.
Thank you.
Picking up an implementation midstream.
Yeah.
Why don't you name 3 big challenges?
Sure. Familiarizing myself with what had already been signed off on versus the challenges that were still in flight. Getting clarity on what the actual objectives of the implementation were.
That's a good one.
Not falling subject, as things, the scope creep and stuff like that, making sure that I was aligned with what was originally decided. And then I think the biggest is just making sure that I understood Conagra's business model, what the stakeholders needed, so that I could be aware as things were being implemented, like who do I need to go to make sure this process is good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I'm always curious as to why people choose procurement or whether procurement chose them. So in this case, why you choose procurement?
I thought I wanted to be an accountant, and I found out procurement has more fun.
Okay.
So get to work with numbers and have a really good impact with the company. And I was really fortunate at the beginning of my career to have some really incredible mentors who painted a vision of what procurement could be outside of just cost savings. And that really resonated for me. And I see procurement as a true strategic enabler of the business, not just cost savings, right? Cost savings is everybody's job.
Right.
But we can put in the guardrails to make that happen more effectively. And I really love the access that gives me to all the different aspects of the business.
Brittany, is this your first you do manufacturing on site?
Yeah.
Is this your first manufacturing job?
Yep. Prior to that, I worked in environmental services. I worked for a little bit with Northrop Grumman, so they did some manufacturing, but I was more on the customer-facing side with contracts.
And how has the change been for you to be moving into manufacturing?
Well, one, I've learned how much actually goes into it. I think even, all the classes that I've taken, all the different certifications, you just don't realize it until you're knee deep in it, how much work actually goes into it, from quality to continuous improvement to just the safety standards that they have to work towards. So that's been really eye-opening to just see how much hard work actually goes into, like, creating those pickles that are in your fridge or, the boom chicka pop when you grab it. And then just the size of the procurement team, whether that is what we would call like the enterprise procurement team in more of our home office, and how they work closely with the plants to make sure that stuff's getting where it needs to be on time.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think I love the idea of, because I love supply chain. So,
Yeah.
But to me, supply chain is really supply chain once it's in manufacturing.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah.
it hits a raw material, once you're pulling goods and goods and services,
Yep.
and then you're doing something to produce
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the event today. So you're here. What were you hoping to get out of this event? Because I'm getting oodles, so I don't know.
Yeah. I was most excited to come and be in a room with folks and hear their pain points that were specific to pain points that I've had either in the past or I'm experiencing now. And I have not been disappointed. It's just been energizing is the only word that I can think of to know there are practitioners out there who have the same challenges. You're not alone in what you're going through, even when you feel like you may be the lone wolf where you're at.
Yeah, no, that's great. And are you staying for Women in Procurement? Will you be
I
here?
wish. I know the FOMO is going to be so real.
I was supposed to be there. I ended up. We have to leave on Thursday morning.
Oh no!
I'm so bummed.
And Amanda's going to be emceeing it,
I
so I
know.
extra just knife to the heart.
So again, it would be another event where a bunch of people that again I've talked to for years. So
Wow.
And real discussion, and that's just
Real
what I love here
discussion.
too. Is it's small enough and intimate enough that I feel like real discussion is happening. You're not being talked at. You're being engaged in that conversation.
Right. And like you said, the struggle is real, and it's good to be able to relate to other people that are in the same struggles
Absolutely.
and find solutions to those struggles together.
Yes.
No, I guess I just had more questions around supply chain and around implementing a system that, hopefully, and I don't promote any particular systems at all, but knowing that you're in manufacturing, I'm not gonna shout out Oracle where hopefully you're an SAP kind of model where it's really inventory based. What'd you say?
You said you were not going to shout out Oracle, but you did.
No, but I mean,
I see.
No, but it's really like if you work in inventory, you don't want to have an Oracle product, and if you work in financial industry, you're probably not going to have an SAP.
Fair.
Right? I mean, it's just the kind of high level. So, I guess with the number of tools that we're seeing out in procurement, are you happy with the tech stack that you're able to build out in this new model that you have implementing?
Yeah, I think so. The thing is, there is so much technology out there, and I feel like if I'm not looking at something every day, that something new has been launched that's going to change our lives. And so, there is a little bit of that FOMO there, like when you're about to implement something, like, is this truly the best, or is somebody going to come out with something in a month that's amazing? I think to your point, when you get into maybe more established organizations that are larger, I feel like they normally gravitate towards the tried and true products. So what I've seen so far, yes, incredibly happy. But I think there's always room for improvement.
Right.
Always, you should always be evaluating, right? That's procurement.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that's been interesting about these tried and true is that the up and coming, of which there are plenty of them here today, these up and coming SaaS organizations, if you will, or whatever, platforms, are able to integrate because they knew who the tried and true are.
Yep.
Right? So instead of them kind of joining forces and coming with an entire tech stack and saying, you don't know us, but join in for these six techs that have come together.
Yep.
Let us integrate with your one-off. Let us, all these one-offs has been happening. So I think we're building this place, and I said it to someone earlier today. I'm old enough to remember going from Lotus 1, 2, 3 to Excel. So
Yeah.
the idea of now we sit and talk about true procurement
Yeah.
tools, unheard of to my 22-year-old self,
And it's
just,
exciting.
it's
It
great.
Super
is.
exciting.
It is.
Overwhelming.
Oh,
That too.
But
That
exciting.
too.
well, because
That's
there's
true.
no way that we have to worry about some of these struggles or the
Yeah.
challenges without thinking there's a stack for that. Like we can
Yes.
reach into our tech stack and pull a solution that can
Yeah.
integrate with whatever the challenges we're faced
Yeah.
with.
And I think the challenge there too, just to add my 2 cents, is that because there are so many products, I think people have to be really careful to like not over engineer what they're going out to get, because we're so used to, I think, still not having tools that fit our needs,
Yeah.
that we go out and find one and then we undermine it by either trying to bring an old process into a new tool
Yes.
or trying to customize the tool we just bought in a
Right.
very elaborate
Right.
way.
Yes.
So,
No, that's a great point though that you made, because it can go in either direction.
yeah.
And it's remarkable to show the restraint when you have some technology that it doesn't
Yeah.
solve for, even if they say it doesn't solve for everything.
Yes, yes. And I think it's made skeptics out of a lot of procurement
Yeah.
professionals. So I heard somebody say, why is procurement so grumpy? And it's like, it's not that we're grumpy. It's just that we're constantly being oversold on stuff.
Yeah.
that
Yes.
It's still too new to, I think, deliver on what the sales folks are saying that it does.
Yeah, and we still have to go back and work. And at the
Yes.
end of the day, and I just kind of referenced my age, but nothing about the act and the function and how we interact with suppliers,
Yeah.
except we never, I don't want to do it in my day, but we didn't we didn't interact with suppliers in a way that supplier relationship management was what now COVID
Yes.
and all of the world on fire has shown.
Yeah.
In order to mitigate some risk, we have to be able to have those suppliers that are on par and equitable with us in a
Yes.
manner that we can reach in and pick up the phone when there's a problem.
100%.
We've lost that. That's,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
yeah. So Brittany, back to you. Tell us, where are you going to be in 5 years from now? What are things looking like for you?
So in 5 years from now, I would love to be a CPO leading my own procurement
Nice.
function.
You?
And a modern procurement function at that. I get how important cost savings is, right? It's why we're here, but it's so we can do so much more. So in 5 years, that's where I hope to be.
That's wonderful. I love that. I have
Yeah.
no doubt she will.
That's amazing. Well,
You good?
I'm good.
Great meeting,
keep
Brittany.
you keep on stealing my last question, and I'm like, that's it. We're gonna fight for this one. But no, it has been a pleasure talking to you.
Oh my gosh, thank
and
you.
the passion for what you do is very obvious. So don't ever
you.
lose it.
I won't. I mean it when I say I'm like obsessed with procurement. I
That's
have no other
good.
hobbies.
We
That's
need
sad,
more
right?
people like you
Yeah.
out there. We
Yeah, I
really
think
do.
the procurement people that love procurement don't have other hobbies.
Yeah,
I think you've
they
hit it right.
don't. Procurement is your hobby.
Procurement
is.
is my
It
hobby.
is.
Although don't tell Amanda that.
Yeah,
Oh.
we went ahead and created a podcast just because we can't get enough of procurement
I
and
love
supply
it.
diversity. And now we have one of the sponsors of the Wolf Pack, which we always appreciate. So I'd like to introduce you to Erwann.
Erwann, a pleasure to have you sitting there. Thank you for talking to us.
Pleasure. Thank you so much. Very good morning. It's amazing weather in New York today.
Oh, it's
Yes.
beautiful.
Fantastic. I come from Boston, so very rainy on my way here. So thanks for having me.
Well, wonderful. So we two are from Boston. She's from Taunton. I'm from Marshfield. So
Nice.
glad to have you here.
Yes.
You in Boston proper?
So the company's in Boston, but I live in Mansfield, a little south of.
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Well, go Sox. I think we have to say that we're in New York. So this is great. So FlipThrough, would love to hear a little bit about the company. We also don't want to lose sight of you, Erwann. We want to hear about you, how you got here, and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So FlipThrough is a startup in the space. We are one of the new kid on the block, if you will. We are an AI native platform that allows procurement professionals to automate contract analysis. And
wow.
also, we have the world first voice activated negotiation agent that we're about to release today during the demo at 4 p.m.
Oh my God.
Well,
And
that's
we're going to be watching.
We're going to watch
We're
that.
going to be watching.
So give us a little insight before the demo, before everybody else finds out.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about it.
So essentially, before doing FlipThrough, I spent over 10 years as a negotiation advisor for Fortune 500 companies from Nike and Amazon and so forth. And I would be helping coaching their chief procurement officers or CIOs on how to go about negotiating with, I would say, the strategic vendors in the software and IT space.
Okay.
So think about the Microsoft, the Salesforce of the world. So I would be the one drafting talking points and kind of giving them guidance on how to get the best deals with those vendors. And so essentially, we built an agentic version of myself. And what FlipThrough does, and what you will see, is if you're a procurement executive or even if you're a mid-manager, typically you need a lot of prep for those negotiations because they're very high stake and there's risk, but also you want to make sure that you don't come off as too aggressive with those vendors because you have to manage the relationship, and typically those relationships last a long time. And so what FlipThrough does is you need maybe 2 or 3 minutes of prep. You select whoever the vendor is and whatever is the contract that you are about to negotiate. Could be a master subscription agreement or a statement of work, something very complex or simple. And FlipThrough, when you start talking, FlipThrough is able to recognize who the user is and is in real time giving you talk track. And you simply just have to read out loud. And FlipThrough is also able to understand what the vendor is saying, either if the vendor is accepting or trying to simply tell you can't do that.
Sure.
And FlipThrough will give you additional talking points to go around and counterpropose to that vendor.
So you were I'm sorry, this is just, I'm very excited when we start talking about negotiation. You're telling me that you've built a system that's going to automate the negotiation back points, research and identify that so that in real time, while in the midst of negotiation, I'm going to be fed information.
Essentially, yes.
My God.
So if you think about, this process where one, you need to be on top of what the agreement is, the vendor profile, how they're doing on the market, things like this, and also all of your contracts. And it just feeds you like this. You just have to read, and that's it.
So your system is screaming to me, we can finally, and I mean no disrespect to the market at all about this, we can finally have maybe some junior staff assist in some of the negotiation around IT without going in with, because as we all know, you need, IT is it's complex. There's a lot of moving pieces. And your system is going to be feeding information through AI models to, I'm going to again say junior staff because I'm trying to help you here with your value add. So your value proposition is you're going to be able to lessen the threshold a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a question.
This is an amazing event. Can I just say the amazing event? We are getting to meet some incredible
different
products.
Processes, incredible programs, incredible products. Question for you, would this be available in a multilingual basis?
I love that question. Yes.
Oh my God.
So if you think about the future, which is not that long term, you could essentially be talking to a Chinese vendor.
Oh my God.
And you're looking at you initially received a Chinese agreement, FlipThrough, analyzed it in English, and you in English say whatever FlipThrough is telling you to do in real time. In real time. It takes half a second, but
Still.
You can take a pause as you're talking. you can speak slowly, of course. Absolutely.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Now I definitely want to watch your presentation. Definitely. That's amazing.
So Erwann, tell us your role in the organization.
Yes.
How long?
Sure. So I'm the co-founder and CEO of the company. I also have Matt Michaud, who is our chief product officer and co-founder. And so we officially came out of stealth in November of last year. So very new.
Yep.
Been on the market officially for a few months. Within the first 30 days, we got our first enterprise customers. And it's about, a balance of people being very excited about this and also a little bit of concerns.
Sure,
of course.
But yeah, that's been pretty exciting so far.
So the interest in the market is real, is tangible.
Oh, it is. What's interesting is like any other B2B software, the sales cycles are long, even though we're a startup, because all our enterprise prospects and customers have the same rigorous process to evaluate us in terms of, is it safe? Are you stealing my data? And all those things.
Right.
So we have to make the point, and we pass every time, of yes, we have that enterprise grade, if you will, security infrastructure. And now it's the question when we show things like this, which again you'll be the first to see today. But when we start to talk about this to some of our prospects, the question was, well, so now that means that me as chief procurement officer, for example, I'm more willing to delegate my more junior people to negotiate, because I know that FlipThrough will give them the guardrails to not mess it up.
Right. Wow.
Erwann, your product screams that. It screams being able to flatten or smooth out the labor within a procurement team, and not needing, I hate to use that word needing, because we always want to know that our procurement staff is fully up to speed in everything that we're negotiating. Cannot be the case, especially as it relates to IT. I feel like, I've been in procurement for 30 years, and I still, every time I thought I'm reaching that comfortable place to negotiate IT, something would come up behind. And in these past 7, 8, 9 months, I would never feel positioned to sit down across the table. It's just no longer my specialty, and not something you can dance your way through.
And that's the big thing too, is especially as a procurement executive, is you're busy, right? You have to manage your existing vendors, your stakeholders, your own staff, and especially with the Wolfpack, right? We're talking about smaller teams, maybe a solo procurement leader, and you don't really have someone to, at the top of your fingers, be able to bring reports and so forth. And by the way, when you're about to go into a negotiation, whatever amount of preparation you may have, you're always going to be reactive. Because the vendor will always be prepared about there's something new and my boss is gonna. With FlipThrough, it doesn't matter. You're always going to be the one with the upper edge on the other end of the table.
Well, I am excited to, I'm excited that we met today.
Yes.
I'm excited to watch your company.
Absolutely.
Because I think there is something here, not that you need to hear that from us, but, we talk procurement, we talk supplier diversity a lot. This is all we talk about.
That's what we do.
And your product, this sounds really exciting, so I can't wait to watch you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. It's on flipthrough.ai. You'll see a lot. And the unveiling, we're very excited. We were hoping to do an actual live demo. Unfortunately, because of the sound system, it's only going to be a video, but I'm sure you have the vision to see where this is going.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We've met incredible people so
my
far.
gosh,
My
it's been
goodness.
fantastic.
Yes.
This is such a great event. And as we've been sitting here and as we walk around, we see a nice gentleman carrying a camera and video. So we invited him to sit down and take a mic. He accepted. So I would like to introduce you to Jeff from Rad Media.
Yes.
Jeff, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've seen you guys around here as well.
So tell us a little bit about you and your company.
Yeah.
And let's start with that. And your
Let's start
background,
with that.
of course.
My background, yes. So my name is Jeff. I am, founder. I hate titles.
If you have one, though, that's not a bad one.
Important.
Yeah, I'm the founder, CEO, debt collector, everything, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what we do. A small team, primarily me and freelance based. I cover events, that's my niche.
Nice.
That's why I'm here in New York today. I'm based in Denmark, do a lot of work in London, and doing a lot in New York and Hong Kong.
Wonderful, wow.
So I get to see the world.
That's amazing.
A bit. Yeah.
So you leave the happiest place on the planet.
Yeah, so they say, right?
Well,
but I'm happy. But I'm sure that's not because of Denmark.
You're a walking, talking marketing tool.
Yeah. In US right now, right? It's critical.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! So this is incredible. So you know the people from Connect House, Sophie and
Yes,
Claire.
Sophie and Claire, yeah.
So you work with them a lot, which is why you're coming back again.
Yes.
That's amazing. So tell us a little bit about what got you into videography and how this is important for you.
So I filmed since I was a little boy, played music, but my focus there was music, but we filmed music videos. and
Oh,
I
wow.
thought it was more fun to film the videos
Yeah.
than the actual music. And I started as a carpenter because that was what was normal in that small city in Denmark I was from. You didn't have that mindset of starting your own thing or being a creative. You were gonna use your hands, and that's the norm, you know.
Yeah.
And after 6 years of doing that, I was still doing film. And after 4 years into doing carpentry, I started filming on the side. And when I saw the gap to switch, I switched and had 0 jobs because that's not how business works, you know. So we found out the hard way, and I've been doing it for 8 years now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
So-
great. How nice, though, that you got to build your career around the thing that you really love to do.
Yeah, but I would say now it's I never touch my camera when I'm off work. Never.
Because you're that busy.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
Good
and
for
we're
you.
incredibly busy. Do events, all over the place. Yeah.
That's amazing. So, Jeff, we do point to our producer, Elijah.
Yeah.
Oftentimes in the midst of our podcasts.
Yeah.
So, Elijah, young guy, just starting
Great
his
name.
career.
Yes.
And, I'd love to know for the videographers out there, Elijah too, what's your advice? I mean, what's your
Advice for
advice?
sales or for getting new clients in, or
Yes, whatever you'd like to give advice on. He,
Whatever I like to
young,
give
he's got his
advice
own.
on.
He's got his own business. He's just starting out.
Yeah.
To do what you love to do, because
Focus
when
on
you
networking.
love,
Network
yes,
a lot,
Yes.
because in this field, I think it's more mouth to mouth. You want to trust your videographer coming out. There's a lot of us. I don't know how sorry my French, but some are shit. Some are good.
Yep.
When I look for people to help me out, it's mostly I look for people who's had event experience, because it's something else. You cannot plan everything, so we need people that are
Right.
flexible and open-minded to changes. But to start off, any good advice to get some new clients in, network. Maybe if you just started out, Elijah, do some things for free just to get a name out.
Yep.
And it's gonna take a couple of years, of course.
And stay with the people that gave you the chance at the beginning.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Treat them good. Treat them
Stay
good.
inexpensive.
Yep.
Yeah, and find a niche. Find a niche.
I
Treat
see
them
where you're
good.
going with this, Lisa Westgate.
But I say just crack on. Sometimes are hard, sometimes are good. And that's, and I think that's just how it is all the time. For me now, it's a pretty stable business, but I still wake up at night thinking. Yeah, now it's not a money issue. Now it's more just a time issue.
time
Can we
issue,
do it?
yeah.
Deadlines and
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah. I got a lot of gray hairs, but Elijah. My son's name is Elijah. That's why.
Oh,
it's
that's
full name.
it's a great
Yes,
name.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is amazing. I'm glad that we know each other now.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yes.
walk
I
I
around.
forgot you guys' names, Lisa and Maria.
Lisa and
Maria,
Maria.
Lisa,
Yes,
Maria,
we're
and
the
Elijah.
diversity duo.
Yep.
Yeah.
So great to
But how
meet
come
you.
you guys are here? Do you guys niche in procurement?
Yes. So we both in procurement for 100 years at least.
Yeah.
You guys are good at this, you know?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we like doing this. And this happened by accident, just
yeah.
because we love to talk about procurement and supplier
Yeah.
diversity.
All right.
And we said,
Just
It
stumbled
did.
across
It
it.
wasn't planned. It wasn't
No
planned.
plan.
She calls me one day. She says, "Hey, Maria, how about if we do a podcast about procurement?" I said,
Yeah.
let's start."
Yeah.
And here we are. That was in January of this year.
Really?
yeah.
We
And
have
now
a-
we're in New York doing this for
Where are
New
you guys from? Because you are from
Massachusetts.
America.
We are from
Massachusetts,
America.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
so
I
we're
don't,
waiting
I don't
for-
even know what that is. The Massachusetts.
4 hours away.
Yes.
4 hours. Yeah, but we're waiting for you to introduce us to some people from Hong Kong because our
Hong Kong
bags
and
can
New
be
York.
packed.
God.
What about
Yes,
London? London is where
Yes,
it is, you know.
All
We
right.
go to London.
But you already know the people I know in
We know the
procurement.
I need your other people.
Yes. The other peeps, please.
Yeah, I'll try.
Yo.
But I knew zero about the procurement for
And now
since
you do.
2-3 months ago, where I filmed them for the About Us movie, and then I was
Yes.
like, all right, still a bit confused about what it is, but
But I'm doing it.
You're in.
I'm gonna get
There you go.
You're
there
in.
you
all my
go.
answers answered,
Well, this
questions answered. Yeah.
what an amazing group to hear answers from.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Absolutely.
the idea behind having the wolf pack be lone
Yeah.
procurement practitioners.
Wow.
Let me say something about this event, though. I'm used to film 4,000 to 10,000 people
Really?
events, so this is pretty small.
Yep.
But I love the vibe because people are talking. you know?
Yes.
And people are having
Yeah.
fun.
This is real networking.
And
This
this
is
is real
real
networking.
When you're at
yeah,
5,000
yeah,
event, and
100%.
I'm heading to a 5,000 event and I'm excited to go,
Yeah.
right? Of course I'm
But it's too
excited to
big.
go.
This is more
it's big.
intimate.
big.
And
Yeah.
This is great. The
This
amount
is
of
amazing.
information and new programs, amazing.
yeah. There's some funny thing about I'm used to see a lot of corporate faces, but people are smiling here from start.
It's almost like we're from Denmark.
Shut up.
Chef, this is great.
Yeah.
We all have to get back to our real jobs now.
We do.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much
Thank
for
you, guys.
stopping over.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Take
Appreciate
care.
it.